Look, we made it.
Wow. Oh, we're finally here after so many hours of driving.
I think it's here.
You think? Does anything look familiar around here?
That house looks familiar.
Which one?
Those.
This one.
It's here. I know it.
Wow. Do you know who lived over there?
A relative, but I don't know how close. Maybe a cousin of my grandmother or something.
I see.
And when I was there in the 80s, I arrived in what you call that? Those Beetle, the bus.
Oh, the Volkswagen bus. Oh, whoops.
Well, be careful.
Yeah.
An orange Volkswagen bus, and we parked over there. I remember.
Okay. And in those days, there was a house here, wasn't there?
There was a house up there and a barn. And I brought some stuff I found in the barn to show you. Just have to take this out.
Let's go. And do you need help?
No,
Wow, it's heavy, isn't it? What do you have in there?
a lot of good stuff.
This is such a beautiful place. So calm, so peaceful.
It's nice when you have the house, when you wake up to the sun. And
Oh my God, the view. Look at that view. And it looks so magical now with the clouds and the fog. We've really come from far away to do this, haven't we?
Yeah. So let's put the suitcase up here.
So do you think you'll find anything
No,
around here now that belonged to your grandmother?
there's nothing left, I think.
There's nothing left. But at one point, there was a house here.
Yeah.
Was it a wooden house with a grass roof?
No, I don't think it was. I think it was
Well, it must
like
have
a
been a wooden
normal house. It was a wooden house, but not a grass on the roof. And I remember the door was somewhere here, and I remember we climbed in the window, and then we went upstairs, and that's where we found some stuff.
I see. But
And the barn was over there.
did you ever come here as a child with your mother?
No, not as a child. So
So you only came here
after I got the driver license.
after you got your driver's license.
I think the first time was in the 80s when I came in that Volkswagen, the bus. Those has another name.
Yeah, the Volkswagen bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Camper. I think they call it the camper.
Yeah.
And then we parked over there, as I said, and we walked over the field, and we stayed here and had coffee.
And your grandmother's name was Torbjörg
Torbjörg
Heistad.
Heistad.
And we are in the village Heistad.
Heistad.
So your mother had the name of the village. Or your
My
grandmother,
grandmother had the name of the village. And she had one sister who was married, I think, on a farm down there, and there was a brother. The brother lived somewhere here, and a sister in Arendal, and a sister in Manhattan.
Yeah, because a lot of people from this part of Norway, they went to the USA. We're not very far away from Kristiansand, are we?
No, 2 hours, I think.
2 hours to the south is Kristiansand,
Yeah.
the southernmost, one of the southernmost cities in Norway. And a lot of people from Kristiansand, they emigrated and ended up living in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
So-
actually, a lot of people from the south of Norway, they went to Brooklyn. So
Yeah.
if people in the south said they were going to the city, they were talking about Oslo, Kristiansand, or Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That was where they went, if they went to the city. So they also had a lot of English words.
Yeah. The
Down
trunk,
south?
they said trunk.
Yeah, put the suitcase in the trunk.
Yeah. Lägg kofferten i trunken.
I trunken.
Yeah.
So they had had a close connection to to Brooklyn
Yeah.
because of that. So
And Arne, the suitcase is so heavy, but let's bring it a little bit further and let's have a look
yeah,
at all the things that we've
they
brought.
almost put up a chair for us.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Look, that's something from when they baked. I can think maybe that's the only thing left. This is like this big oven when you do flatbrød. What's that in English?
Lefse.
Lefse and flatbrød. So
Yeah.
takke is called a takke. Takke. Okay, let's see what's in the suitcase. Because I brought a lot of stuff. I don't know if we have to bring all this stuff, but
But all of this stuff is related to your grandmother and it's related to the area.
yeah.
we're in right now.
If I can get it up.
It's an old suitcase.
Need to be. There you go. This is a nice suitcase. And we went to the arts and crafts shop to borrow some nice sweaters because since we're in Setesdal we had to put on the Setesdal sweater. But we don't have anyone with embroideries, so we borrowed these.
Yes.
And I will have them make me one of these.
And I'll have them make me one of these. This is when in Rome, and in this case, when in Setesdal,
Do as the
Setesdal.
Setesdalers.
So I guess this is going to be our uniform for the next month.
Yeah. So I brought this book. This is the book we made with inspiration from this area, from Setesdal.
Yes.
And this is my grandmother when she was younger. And she was wearing her folk costume up until the day she married. After she got married, she stopped wearing the folk costume and then she dressed like this, in black.
Yeah, and we're going to find out a lot about the folk costumes.
Yep.
And probably also figure out why she stopped wearing her folk costume at a certain time.
Yeah, maybe.
So that'll be interesting. I think I have an idea though, probably because she moved.
She moved out of this area, and I think it would be strange if you were wearing that folk costume in another place. You will look very strange.
Yeah, and Setesdal was is a very traditional area. People wore their folk costumes for quite some time. I mean, here we have 300 years of continued tradition of wearing folk costumes. And up until the 70s, you could see older people here wearing them on a day-to-day basis. And we're going to learn a lot about that
And
while
this
we're
is
here.
and this is, you see, this is the same thing as the embroidery. We've also learned a little bit about the embroideries, and this is how my grandmother was dressed when she was younger,
Yeah.
in her folk costume. And when I was here in the 80s, the barn was standing and it was almost falling down, but there was like this stick in the second floor, and there were folk costumes hanging over that stick.
Which is the traditional way of keeping folk
yeah, they kept
costumes
the
here.
folk costume. So everybody has left this property, and but the folk costume was still hanging there. And I managed to get one of them using a stick. I managed to get one of the folk costumes, and I brought the skirt from that, and that's this one.
This is your maybe your great-grandmother's skirt.
I don't know, but it's from the family.
Yeah.
So I found this one in the barn,
Yeah.
and I took it.
It has a very interesting detail with the pleating. I can't wait to find out more about how they manufacture this.
Yeah.
And probably with all the experts that we have lined up, we will find out.
learn. And there's a lot of work on this.
A
Look
lot
at
of
all
work.
these stitches.
Amazing.
And then I also brought these pieces, which I found. This is, I don't know if it's from this dress or it's from another one. I think it was on the same dress,
Yeah.
because I picked, no, it was on this one. It was hanging on this one. And there was another piece which I couldn't find. But this is a løyesaum on this one. And these pieces are from the cuffs, like on this one. But this has gold.
And I'm very curious.
Silver. Or,
I'm very curious as to learn a little bit more about the embroidery and maybe the codes,
yeah.
the stories that are embroidered into these pieces that probably people from here can read.
But it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
So I'm looking forward to going and see all these experts and learn more about these things. So
And I think we have more stuff here. I mean,
I also brought a lot of books. I'm going to show them. I also
Yeah.
brought this one,
our typical book,
the Norske strikkemønstre.
Norwegian knitting patterns.
Yeah, because here you have, I guess, one of the first Setesdal sweaters that was made for hand knitters. This one. And this is almost the same style as you are wearing.
Yeah.
You have that simple embroidery and you have the white. But you have 8 leaf roses on your...
I do, yeah. I think we're going to learn a lot about the symbolism and about these sweaters. Of course, we have yarn with us. We are launching a Norwegian wool or a Norwegian yarn with Rowan. Later on in the year, probably in the beginning of October. And we brought our yarn because, you know, we want to do our projects. And what was interesting was when we dyed, or we didn't dye the yarn, but when we designed the colors, we did include this. We've got a lineup here of red, green and black.
And we tried to pick like colors that are typical Norwegian, which you can find in the folk costume and in the paintings, the rosemaling and all these things. And when I took out this dress, I just saw that these colors are so close.
Authentic.
A little bit darker, a little bit, it's very close actually. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
That was by coincidence.
That's by coincidence. This yarn is launching later on in the year, in October, so keep your eyes peeled. It's a Rowan yarn, but it's all Norwegian.
But when we come home now, we will be so inspired. We can do so many things with this.
We will.
So that's so cool. And of course we brought the scrapbook, the knitting needles, and we're prepared for everything.
We're prepared for everything. Now, I have a lot of expectations about the trip.
I'm too old.
I have a lot of expectations about this trip, and I am looking forward. This region is absolutely beautiful. Arne, I've already started to look
so
the
I have
part.
to undress and put on my...
I think you need to put on your sweater, and while you do that, hi everybody, and welcome to our YouTube channel. We are, as always, your hosts Arne and Carlos. We're now in Setesdal. It is a very traditional region in the south of Norway. We are in a valley surrounded by beautiful mountains, about 4 hours drive from Oslo, which is to the east. To the west, in 2.5 hours, if we continue driving, we will reach the Atlantic Ocean and Stavanger. And if we drive 2 hours to the south, we will reach Kristiansand. So we are very much in the heart of the south of Norway. Very traditional area with rich traditions for textile, embroidery, weaving, poetry, music. And we are going to be meeting experts in all these fields. And this is a real treat for us and also for you. We are going to be sharing all the traditions from this region throughout September. Every Wednesday and every Sunday, you can tune in and enjoy a new episode with a new expert. Some of the experts are probably not going to be able to speak English, so we will be doing a few episodes where we speak Norwegian, which a lot of people have wanted us to do.
But you do the, what you call that, the translation?
Yeah, don't worry,
the subtitles
we've got you covered.
is done by Carlos.
Yeah, I'm going to transcribe and subtitle those episodes.
Because he has, like when I was driving here in that old Beetle bus or camper.
The Volkswagen bus.
Volkswagen, yeah. He was doing the translations or the subtitles for Bold and Beautiful.
Yeah, that was
I was watching that.
Yeah, a lot of people were. This was in the late 80s. I was in high school and then went on to university. My parents' neighbor was working in TV. They had imported the show or purchased the rights, and they asked me to subtitle it, and I got paid. And yeah, I spent the first year of The Bold and the Beautiful in Sweden subtitling. So I may be a little bit rusty, but I hope I will succeed.
But that's how you came into fashion. You were inspired of Sally Spectra and
I guess so.
What's it called again? Foster fashion? No.
Yeah.
That was something.
Forester fashion. I don't even remember. You know what, I have to admit? I never saw the show.
No?
No. I only did well, not until I met you.
No, then you were hooked.
Not really,
No.
but I never saw it until I met you, and I was so curious because I knew all the characters.
Yeah?
Anyway, this is not about me.
No, it's not about.
This
It's
is
about Setesdal.
It's about Setesdal, and it's about you. It's about finding your roots, and it's
Well,
about.
we found them. They're here.
Yeah, we did. So
So let's move
mission
on.
accomplished.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
But we are going to see the sweater detective.
Yes.
Because she was also up here a few years after I was here. And she also went into this house and she found a postcard. And the postcard is in at least 2 of her books. And we put it also in our book. So this postcard is the one that she found in this house that was here. And she also had made a design inspired of this sweater. So I hope she will tell us more about this. Maybe she has the card so we can see
Maybe.
who's it from. So I'm really looking forward to talk to her.
I'm very excited about meeting the sweater detective. There's no one like her in the world. She looks for clues and she finds the stories. So you really want to join us for this. I'm sorry, it's a cliffhanger. So it's not going to be until next Sunday or this coming Sunday. So you'll have to wait. I can't wait, however. So why don't we just...
I feel confident in my new sweater.
Yeah, you look, by
Which
the way,
I've
you
borrowed.
look amazing.
Thank you. I think I need like 2 centimeters more, but I like to have it short to, you know, show off my ass. No,
Your assets.
assets, my behind. Yours is perfect.
Thank you.
A little bit longer on the sleeve.
I need a little longer sleeve, but I do feel like a local now. Yeah, no, not for you.
No, not for me. So,
Anyway.
but I'm going to bring this home because this has been traveling from this place up to where we live and back again, and it's going home. It's going home. I'm not leaving it.
So Arne, let's close this the suitcase and let's start our adventure.
I love this suitcase.
Yeah, it is really good.
I think it's the best suitcase we have. Of old suitcase. I brought the scrapbook in case.
Yeah. So,
See, look.
the suitcase is closed.
It's not easy to close. You need to know how to do it.
But
Look,
you do it so well. So,
are we going back to the car
Let's-
and drive somewhere?
yeah, to see the sweater detective and to start our mission of introducing our viewers to the world of Setesdal.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, like the episode, join our mailing list, yada, yada, yada. Let's go meet the sweater detective. Come on, I can't wait.
And
I'm
let's
so
buy the
excited.
property and build a house.
Yes.
We could have a cottage up
We
here.
should have a cottage up here,
a log cabin with grass on the roof.
definitely. And I want to have my own little nook. And I'll
You
let
can have it over there where the barn was.
And then you can have a crafts room and a knitting room and a weaving room and a room for silversmith working.
And a pony?
And a room for a pony.
Everybody needs a pony.
Yeah. And everybody needs a room for a
A
pony.
room for a pony.
Let's go. Sweater detective, here we come.